What's going on? I'm Will with Geek Revolution Radio. Each week, Redbox releases a handful of films, and I'm here to tell you which ones are good, which ones to watch, and which ones to just straight up avoid with your Redbox review. My pick of the week has to be Bridge of Spies. This film has been nominated for 6 Oscars. It's including Best Picture and Best Screenplay. It sits at a very encouraging 81% or 81 on Metacritic. Most of all, Tom Hanks is outstanding in this role. This Cold War era film revolves around an American lawyer played by Tom Hanks, tasked to help the CIA facilitate an exchange of captured spies between the Soviet Union and America. The film tends to be slow at times, but is a very compelling film and reminds the viewer of why integrity and standards are key in this political drama.
Could you clean the oven for me, Becca? Get all the way inside.
Becca?
She's done it before. Oh, this'll just take a second.
Another film is M. Night Shyamalan's creepy horror, The Visit. I don't have much faith in his work since The Happening. I was really let down with that one. This one doesn't honestly look all that more appealing, based off of the previews. This is also hard for me because I'm a really big horror fan. It's kind of creepy. Kids go to grandma's house, grandma and grandpa, and weird things ensue. Just not really a big fan of the preview. If it looks good to you, I say go for it, but I just can't give it my approval. Vin Diesel stars in The Last Witch Hunter. This is one of those old fable meets modern world type stories. Vin Diesel is mediocre at best in this role. I guess you can say that's arguably where he's on par, for his other roles. Pretty mediocre. I don't think he really stands out as a great actor in my mind. He's got movies that I really love. He's got movies that I think he's pretty bland in. So this is another one of those kind of movies.
You know what I'm afraid of? Nothing.
Eli Roth has a thriller. He's the director of Green Inferno. I don't know. I think this one has a little bit of a potential for me in terms of an enjoyable scare. The story revolves around a group of student activists who set out to South America to fight injustice, and they slowly realize they've made bad decisions and end up being captured by indigenous people there in the Amazon. I think my favorite story out of this movie is the fact that the indigenous people are actually indigenous of the Amazon. They had never seen a film or movie or camera or anything like that, and Eli Roth had to essentially sit them down and show them what a movie was, show them how cameras work. And pretty much all of those horrific scenes in the movie were comedic. They were funny to these people. So I think that was kind of funny about this. All very unknown actors in that film. So it might be a one worth checking out, and at least in terms of getting a good scare on.
Tonight, we have new information on the President's military service.
Here's to a great story.
I think my last suggestion comes in the form of a Politico/journalistic true story of the 60 Minutes report investigating George Bush and his military service and the firestorm that kind of came out that ended up costing Dan Rather his job. It's not a well-known movie, but it's got a lot of big names in it. Robert Redford plays Dan Rather. Kate Blanchett's in it. Topher Grace, Dennis Quaid, Elizabeth Moss. These are some well-known people, but I don't know. The film just looked okay to me. Especially when you have other films that came out last year, like Spotlight, that just kind of in the same vein of journalism movies that seem to be a lot better. As far as the other films coming out this week, Home Invasion is about what you would expect. It's a story about a wealthy woman who battles home intruders. So that's cut and dry. Ladrones is a foreign film about a pair of lesser heroes out on a mission to reclaim land stolen by a beautiful but lethal diva and her team of thieves. It sounds like a goofy comedy. It's a foreign film, so it has potential. Freeheld is probably the one that I wish I'd mentioned earlier, but it just kind of falls to the wayside. This is a Julianne Moore and Ellen Page story about an officer who's dying, and her last desire is to give her hard-earned pension to her domestic partner. It looks really one of those compelling kind of courtroom fight for injustice type movies. It could be a really good movie, but it's just, there's a list of movies that seem just more intriguing or better worth your time. So this has been your Redbox review. These films come out today, so if you're at your local gas station or McDonald's, not promoting McDonald's, but that's where I typically find Redbox. Go ahead and check it out. These are some good movies out there. There's some from the previous weeks worth checking out. I'm Will with Geek Revolution Radio, and thanks for watching.